Living the life. So our first guest today, of course, is Naima Roberts. Now, Naima has dedicated her community building skills to putting together the month-long online Black Muslim Festival. Welcome, Sister Naima. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
There you are. Welcome to the show. Jazakallah khair for joining us. Now, listen, I'm assuming this has come on the back of Black Lives Matter. Is that part of the process?
Yeah, I would say that it is. I think that I had never had this idea before. It literally came to me after a series of conversations that I was having with Black Muslims from the UK, from Canada, from Nigeria, the States. And we were having such enriching, enjoyable conversations, really. And then just one morning I thought, how about bringing all this awesomeness to one platform, 1 month, and just talk about everything under the sun and we just get it all out there.
Wow.
And it just so happened that Black History Month in the UK is in October. So it seemed to make a lot of sense because typically when we hear of Black History Month, Black Muslim history is not involved in that, is not being spoken about. Yeah. So I thought it would be an interesting thing for us as a Muslim community and also for our non-Muslim friends and family to learn a little bit more about the Black Muslim identity, the Black Muslim culture and heritage, and be a learning process for everyone.
I mean, it's not the first time we've discussed this. We've had a number of guests throughout the year talking about Black Muslim history that just hasn't been represented.
Yes.
And also, I mean, Black Lives Matter has become quite massive. I mean, look, the football season's restarted.
Yes.
If you're into football.
Yep, absolutely.
What team do you support again?
Well, West Ham for my
so
sins.
you're not into football.
So
right?
And we never win is the problem.
And you know, even now, we're into the second season now.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter, the minute silence, the knee.
And it's on the screen and everything.
It's still there.
The banners are there.
It's really powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's brilliant because, you know, as I said, we've had a few guests touching on Black history that hasn't, Black Muslim history that hasn't really been touched.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And it's almost like, I mean, when I think of Black History Month or when we're celebrating or remembering these things, I always associate it with America because we always think of slavery and we know it's the civil rights movement. Never really here in the UK. So I mean, do you think the Black Lives Matter movement has made this a worldwide, I don't want to say phenomena because it shouldn't be a phenomena, it's a worldwide awakening of people. And do you think that's why it's been brought to the UK now through yourself?
I think that's a really interesting question. Obviously, the UK has been sort of doing Black History Month in October for a few years now. It's not new. But I think that there is reason we called it Black Muslim Renaissance is I think that the tumultuous events of the summer have led to some very important conversations taking place within the Muslim community, both within the Black community and also within the wider community. So I think definitely there is a shift in identity, there's a shift in focus, and there's a shift in feeling for me where people want to reclaim an identity, but in a powerful way, not in a, I mean, you mentioned slavery, and that's actually one of my big pet peeves with Black History Month, is that it focuses on slavery and post-slavery history and never goes into pre-slavery history or African history or even non-Caribbean history, actually, in the UK especially. So this is going to be something completely new.
Well, look, we're going to bring a bit of movement into our discussion. We've got a short feature, I believe, of the Black Muslim Online Festival. Let's have a look at this.
Rise up, I'm gonna make a difference. Rise up, take back what's mine. Give power to the people. Some dreams never die. Can I get a witness? You know that it's right. 'Cause we gotta rise up and teach the world to unite. This is for the haters and the dictators and the debaters, 'cause the love's greater than a bomb. Keep calm, got the world in my palm. Fams from Somalia to Vietnam. 'Cause this blood that flows through my veins is the same, so I can't look the other way. So put down the guns, 'cause to save one life is to save everyone, every son, every mom. Feeling your pain, 'cause this ummah is one. They taking our lives, but they're wrong. 'Cause to the Lord of the worlds we belong. So we gotta wake up and sound the alarm. All my people get up before we are gone. 'Cause we ain't gotta fight if we just unite and tell the world to rise up.
Wow, that looks
some
really
massive
good, doesn't
names.
it?
That is some huge names.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the place you want to be. That is
the
where
place you
you want
wanna
to be.
be.
Looking at that. Absolutely.
How difficult was it trying to get everyone onto the platform over the month and convince them to be part of this?
You know, subhanAllah, one of the things that I'm always so grateful for in our community as Muslims, Naeem, and my dear respected brother, is that I have found that Muslims are so big-hearted. And so I never had any problems convincing anyone or like bartering with anyone. Literally, people understand the significance and they're here for it. So I, in terms of convincing everyone, in fact, more people are reaching out and saying, we want to help. How can we get involved? We're adding new things to the program almost every day. So that part of things has just been an absolute dream, mashallah. The admin now, that's another issue which we won't go into. That's my job as the organizer.
It feels like you've literally not missed out a single topic. The only thing I couldn't see was food.
And do you know, someone else mentioned that to me, actually. And said,
That's
"There's
a
no
very
food involved."
important
I said,
part.
unfortunately, Zoom doesn't allow us to do tastings or anything like that.
But you
Otherwise,
could at
we
least get
definitely would
somebody
have, like,
to
a
do
food
some kind of
celebration.
cooking or give some advice on how to make,
Yep.
food from different parts of the world where black Muslims have originated from. I mean, there's an
That's a really
idea. I'm
great
giving you that for
idea,
free of
actually.
charge.
I actually really like that idea, sort of cooking presentations. Maybe for next year, inshallah, we'll have a
I
special
mean, I could do
section of
one.
that.
Yeah, I could do one. Honestly, I've just started cooking. I'm doing really well.
Yeah.
So I could do one, subhanAllah. I could do one.
No, but the thing is, you're spoiled, right? Because you've got scholars, you've got academics, historians, creative writers, activists, professionals, and entrepreneurs. There's so much.
Did you
There's
manage
so
to
much
get a hold of any sports people?
We actually have an ex-NBA player who is originally from France, I believe, and he played in the US. There was talk of bringing on. I'm doing some very special filming on the first day of the festival for something really big on a channel that starts with an N, but I'm not allowed to tell you anything more of that. So if that goes well, we may get some of the bigger sort of sports figures, but I haven't got Ibtihaj yet. I'm making dua and I'm working on it, but it's only our first one, so I wouldn't be surprised if we
Inshallah.
don't
I think
manage
the
to
channel's
back
called
the big
Islam
name
channel.
celebrities.
Islam, that's it, yeah. Begins with an I. Islam channel is what you meant.
Yes, of course.
That's what you
And,
meant, of
and look,
course. Yeah.
how big is the team? I mean, how many people are involved in the background here?
3 of us?
How many?
3.
3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like.
Hold on, so it's a 4-week
That
event.
video does not look like 3 people create.
Exactly.
Well,
and you had
okay,
everybody.
no,
You had
actually, to
anybody
be
was on
fair,
there.
The video was created by Brother Buna Muhammad, who has been a long-time
mashallah.
supporter of my virtual salon, and he's been part of the masterminding. So he did the video. But as for the admin and reaching out to speakers and the promotions and our Instagram page, that's pretty much me. And then I've got 2 ladies who work with me on my team.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
You know what I'd love to see, and we touched upon this just earlier, is the historical Islamic history of
Yes.
throughout Africa. You know what I mean? I remember reading about Timbuktu, and the king of Timbuktu was so rich that the gold, outweighed any kind of wealth that we see today. And as he went for Hajj, he gave out so much gold on his route, on his pilgrimage to Timbuktu to Mecca, that it just created this inflation everywhere, because everywhere he went, people became wealthy. And so there's this rich history that we just don't know about. And this was the wealthiest man in history, was a man from Timbuktu.
Yes, and there will be actually scholars and historians doing presentations and seminars on the first weekend, which is basically this weekend. So if people can grab their free festival pass, they can attend not only the opening ceremony on Friday, but they can also attend those really important lectures from some of our really eminent historians and scholars about the history of the Black presence in the Seerah and in early Islamic history, as well as the history of Islam in Africa and slavery and all sorts of things that are of interest to all Muslims, really.
And is there anything that's come to your kind of notice, and it's an element of surprise you never expected to, find out on this journey?
Just, I don't have enough space on the program for everybody. There's literally so many things to talk about, so many people to showcase, so many issues to address. So right now I'm trying to just kind of keep things as streamlined as possible, so that when people have their festival pass, they don't really have to choose between this event or that event. I want to keep it so that each event happens one at a time, so we can pace ourselves and hopefully attend as many talks, workshops and seminars as we like.
Absolutely. Whilst you've been putting this program together, of course, you would have come across so many amazing concepts, so many amazing ideas.
Especially the food one.
Especially the food
one. That I just gave.
See, we like that idea.
One.
We do like that idea. But is there anyone which really shot out to you and you said, wow, you know what, I didn't know about this. And you may want to share with our viewers to say, just tune in and come on board for this one little snippet.
Well, actually, there's some really, as I've been speaking, having these virtual salon conversations, I've come across so many. I mean, I, for example, did not know a lot about the Black presence in early Islamic history. I wasn't aware. So of course, we all know about Bilal radiallahu anhu. Everyone knows about him. But aside from him, people draw a blank. And so when people realize, how pivotal Africa and Africans were in the lives and survival of the early Muslims, in the fact that the Muslims were told to go to Abyssinia before they were told even to go to Medina, and that it was the Africans of that region that held them safe in that space before they could move on. Certain things like that really, really, I have goosebumps actually, because we don't often think about that. But then I have other people who are coming to talk about wealth, for example, and wealth creation and investing, and how to teach our children so that they have successful marriages. We've got an amazing couple who just yesterday celebrated 29 years together. Amazing couple from Nigeria, mashallah, Maryam Lemu and her husband. They're coming to train. And of course, we've got so many creatives and entrepreneurs and poets as well who are coming. There'll be a poetry slam. So really, I think the only thing we're missing is food. And I'm not sure what to do about that.
And what about, obviously, October is also Black History Month generally. Are you intending to, or is there going to be a natural integration into that month as well?
Yes, I think there's definitely the hook of Black History Month. And one of the things that we're doing on the fourth weekend is we're inviting and we're encouraging anyone who knows, anybody, and they have any African or African Caribbean friends, family, relatives, neighbors, colleagues, etc., that maybe they've been trying to talk to them about Islam. Maybe they've been having conversations, but maybe that person feels like, well, you know what, I'm not sure whether this is right for me because of my cultural background, because of my racial background. Now you bring them to an event like this where they can see people like them living as Muslims, proudly Muslim, proudly Black. I think inshallah we are going to have a da'wah session where non-Muslims can come and ask questions that are relevant to them. And I pray bi'idhnillah it's a source of guidance for many people. And maybe we may get some shahadas as well, inshallah. That would be amazing.
But throughout your research, when you were putting this together, of course, we know it's Black History Month coming up. Has anything like this ever been attempted before? From a Muslim-centric perspective?
Nothing on this scale.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah, I think the past 2 years, Muslim organizations have started having, particular talks, etc., in Black History Month, usually about the Black presence in Islamic history. People like Mansa Musa, for example, that you mentioned, but not on this scale, not with, a whole month of activities, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every week, over 40 speakers. We're at, I think, almost 50 speakers now, mashallah, and literally events all day, workshops, seminars, panel discussions, screenings, nothing like this on this scale, alhamdulillah.
And what do you think this kind of event can do to try and tackle racism and the various, isms, basically? I mean, because even within the Muslim community, there's a massive issue of racism. We've got, what you call them, tribes and clans and stuff, let alone the colour issue.
But absolutely.
And how far can this kind of event, go towards trying to deal with some of those issues?
I really appreciate that question, Brother Naeem, and I pray, inshallah, that this type of event acts as a way of opening eyes and opening minds to the reality of Black people, because I think a lot of the racism that we see, a lot of it is fueled by ignorance.
Sure.
Ignorance, misconceptions, preconceptions, prejudices. And if I have 100, 200, 1,000, 5,000 non-Black Muslims and non-Muslims who are simply curious and open to learning, coming to this festival and then seeing, okay, so this is how you are, this is how you speak, this is what you believe, this is how you do life. I think the more we learn about each other, the more we can appreciate the uniqueness and the specialness of every single person around us on this wonderful world.
Absolutely. I think that's what it is. We've got to change these attitudes as well,
course
right?
we
Because it's an unfortunate thing. I mean, I put it down to the post-colonialist world where, there was this kind of order in terms of the colour of one's skin. And I think, unfortunately, that still resonates at times. And I really hope this plays a part in changing that, right? I think what we're seeing over the course of the last month, we're seeing that change in attitude. It's a welcome debate, and I think we shouldn't be ashamed to talk about it, and we should look to tackle it, right?
I agree. And I really do hope that people see it as, I'm calling it like a Black Mela. When in a predominantly Asian community, they have a festival, they call it a Mela, and you're going to go there, you're going to experience Asian culture. We're going to have some biryani, we're going to get some mendi done, it's going to be cool. So my hope is that people will see this in a very similar way. It's a very much a cultural festival, and like all cultural festivals, all cultures are welcome to come and appreciate that.
On that note, post-COVID, hopefully, inshallah, is this likely to become an event?
SubhanAllah, I pray, inshallah, we are able to take certain elements of it and make them live. But somebody asked me this question today, and I said, you know what? Just for the sake of accessibility, I feel that, and also because COVID has shown us what is possible online, that we can connect online, we can enjoy each other's company online. Sure. So I would probably always want to keep a certain portion of it online, but also have a live element, just so it's accessible to all across the world, inshallah.
Brilliant. Well, look, stay with us because we're going for... Oh, are we? Okay, sorry. I thought we were going for a quick break.
We are going for a quick break.
We're going to find out the details.
We are indeed. But Sister, do tell us, Sister Naima, if people want to attend the event, find out more, how do they go about doing that?
I would say the easiest thing is just follow me on Instagram, Naima B. Robert. All the links are in my bio, and also Black Muslim Festival on Instagram. All the speakers are there. The information is there. You can link through to the website. All the speakers and program is there, and you can also grab your free festival pass on the website.
Fantastic.
Excellent, inshallah. We wish you the best of luck with the event. It's a cracking event. And to all our viewers, make sure you attend, really, isn't it?
I think we might try and talk to you at the beginning of November to see how it went.
Yes.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
And maybe get some clips of some of the stuff that happened.
Yeah, that'd be
amazing. And hopefully by then, COVID's over and you can bring some food into the...
We're going to come eat your food, Brother Naeem. Your food.
Inshallah. May Allah bless, inshallah, and we'll pray successful, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Living the life.